Many people are familiar with the Mary Rose, the flagship of Henry VIII's navy, which sank in the Solent Channel in 1545, whilst fighting an invading French fleet. Although its sinking was a disaster with over 600 men lost, in archaeological terms, it was a gift, a time capsule of Tudor artifacts. Rediscovered in 1971, the bulk of the hull was fully excavated and raised in 1982. As Britain's most important maritime archaeology project, she is now on display for the nation in the historic dockyard at Portsmouth. And since a substantial part of the Mary Rose remains buried on the seabed, it is still designated as a protected shipwreck. Dr. Alex Hildred has been involved for over 4 decades in the excavation, conservation and display of the Mary Rose.
When I first dived on the Mary Rose in 1979, I had no idea that I would still be part of this wonderful project so many years later. As we were excavating the wreck, we could actually see she was degrading. To actually empty the entire wreck and lift it required 85 dives a day, sometime with 45 different divers. We had 11 airlifts working on either side of the wreck, and then you'd have survey people coming in when the tide wasn't running enough to excavate. So the sheer size of the operation could not have happened without volunteer divers. The protection of Wrecks Act, I think, has been absolutely vital to the Mary Rose. If she hadn't been protected, a number of things could have happened. There could have been divers who came and worked on the site without us knowing about it and taking objects, excavating objects, interfering with it. There could have been more fishing impact. So I think the Protection of Wrecks Act, which allowed our team to work the Mary Rose, was really important, because that meant everything got kept together, and we've got, you know, register of objects going back. Now we can backtrate it down to 1971 when the first objects were found. And I don't think you could have done what we did in excavating and lifting the ship without something like the Protection of Wrecks Act, which boldly told people that, you know, they couldn't go into the area of the site with things like buoys or things like signage on the beach, and the notice to mariners and the advice on charts, etc. So it helped a lot. We have over 19,000 artifacts recovered from the Mary Rose. That excludes timbers, samples, human remains, and all of them have got a wonderful meaning. It's a cradle, if you like, for all of these objects, which give you a slice of Tudor time. And you can look at it and you can visualize the objects, and you can try and understand it in a way that you can't do just by reading through history books or looking at paintings. I mean, things like the chest full of longbows, so 50 longbows in a chest, in storage or up ready to be taken to the castle deck. Absolutely amazing, opening the chest and seeing the different colours of the yew longbows, those are wonderful. But things like tiny maple wood spoon, a beautifully carved spoon. Or even some of the combs. We've got about 80 combs, mostly made of boxwood, and they're just like the knit combs that you would use on your family today. Shoes, you know, how personal are those belongings? These things, how did they get into the Mary Rose? Who did they belong to? One of my favorites is the gun, which was the first thing that I touched, and that's one of the most beautifully decorated bronze guns that we've got, so that's got a special part of my heart with it. The fact that I was one of those people who, between 1979 and 1982, helped with the excavation is just amazing, and this is happening all over the country, the potential for people to join teams that will change their lives.
One of the earliest divers on the Mary Rose was the then Prince of Wales. To this day, as King Charles III, he continues to endorse the vital role volunteers play. Volunteering is a most commendable initiative, and the dedication displayed by those who offer their time to support charitable causes is truly admirable. The efforts and contributions made to safeguard historic wrecks for future generations around the coast of the United Kingdom are deeply appreciated by the King.